Love is supposed to feel safe. It's supposed to be a place to rest, not a battlefield. For years, I thought I had that. For years, I believed in him. And then I found out he wasn't just mine. It started with a feeling, a strange, nagging doubt. The kind you push away because you don't want to be that person. The jealous one. The paranoid one. But doubts don't die. And one night, while putting together a slideshow of his biggest life moments, something meant to celebrate him, I found proof. Not a text, not a call, not whispers of suspicion, videos of him with her in our bed. The betrayal wasn't just in the act. It was in the familiarity, the way they laughed together, the ease of their touch, the stolen moments that should have belonged to me. And the worst part? She had no idea I existed. The anger didn't come immediately. First came the shock, the kind that freezes you, that makes you feel like you've stepped outside your own body. Then, the pain. Then, the rage. Tomorrow night, he would be standing in front of a room full of people. His parents, politicians, business leaders, all gathered to celebrate him, and I was in charge of his tribute video. So the question wasn't if I was leaving him. The question was, would I let him leave this night unscathed? And God help me, I wasn't feeling merciful. The banquet hall was grand, glowing under crystal chandeliers, filled with the hum of laughter and the clinking of glasses. He looked perfect, confident, charming, smiling for cameras, shaking hands. He had no idea. I walked in late, wearing the dress he once said was his favorite. The moment he saw me, his smile widened. "You look stunning," he murmured, pressing a kiss to my cheek. I smiled back. Do I? Or did she? His mother pulled me into a warm hug. "Oh, sweetheart, he's going to be so happy you're here." If only she knew. The award ceremony began. He took the stage, basking in the applause. Then, my turn. I stepped onto the stage, the remote for the slideshow cool in my palm. I smiled, steady. "Ladies and gentlemen, I had the honor of putting together a little tribute video for this incredible man. I hope you all enjoy." Click. The screen lit up. The audience laughed, clapped, sighed as childhood photos flashed by. And then, I slipped it in, a single picture. To anyone else, it was nothing. Just him and a friend, smiling. But to him, it was a bomb in the middle of the room. His smile vanished. His hands curled into fists. His entire body went rigid. I met his gaze from across the room and held it. I know. The rest of the slideshow played as if nothing had happened. The moment it ended, I turned to the microphone. This man is truly remarkable. Then I walked off the stage and out the door. I thought that was the worst betrayal I'd ever feel. I was wrong. Because just when I thought I could pick myself up and move on, my wife looked me in the eyes and told me she loved another man, a man who wasn't even capable of loving her back. Chuck had been a part of her life for years, her best friend, a brother to her, or at least that's what I thought. When he went through a bad breakup, my wife told him he could move in with us, without even asking me. I agreed because I trusted her, and at first I was fine with it. He was hurting and she was helping. But then little things started happening. She started canceling our plans to be with him. She laughed harder at his jokes than mine. She forgot our date night because she was out with him. And then, the night, that shattered me. We were arguing. I told her I felt like she was prioritizing him over our marriage. And she snapped. "Chuck is my soulmate. You just have to get used to that. Soulmate, a word she had never even used for me." I walked out. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I had to get away. 2 days later, my phone buzzed. "I miss you. I love you. Let's talk." Such simple words. The same words she had whispered to me so many times before, words that used to feel like home, but now, they felt like a trap. I sat in my car outside our apartment for a long time before going in. The air inside smelled the same. Our candles, her perfume, the faint traces of coffee lingering in the kitchen. It looked the same, too, but it wasn't the same, because now I knew I had been living with a woman who loved another man more than me. She smiled when she saw me, relief washing over her face like she actually thought we could pretend the last few days never happened, like she thought all she had to do was bat her eyelashes, crack a joke, and I'd forget. I didn't smile back. Instead, I said the words that had been burning inside me since the moment she called him her soulmate. I need Chuck to leave. Her face froze. She blinked like she hadn't heard me right. What? I need him gone, I repeated, voice calm but firm. He's been here for months. He has a job. He can afford his own place. It's time. She shook her head, her expression shifting from confusion to anger. Are you seriously asking me to choose between you and my best friend? I took a step closer, looked her in the eye. No, I said softly. I'm asking if you still see me as your husband. Silence. And that silence was all the answer I needed, because love isn't something you have to think about. If you truly love someone, if you truly want them, you don't hesitate. And she was hesitating. My heart pounded in my chest, waiting for something, anything. A plea, a promise, a desperate, of course it's you. It's always been you. But instead, she just stood there. I could see it happening in real time, the way she wanted to say something to make me stay, but she couldn't. Because the truth was right there between us, unspoken, but loud as a scream. She had already made her choice. She just never expected me to make mine. So I exhaled, felt my hands relax at my sides, and then I gave her the easiest decision of her life. I turned around, and I left. Some betrayals burn hot and fast, a knife to the gut, an explosion of rage. Some betrayals smolder slowly, a quiet erosion, a slow decay of trust until there's nothing left but dust. But in the end, they all leave behind the same thing. Ash had always thought leaving would feel like breaking, like shattering into a million pieces. But as I walked out of that apartment, into the cool night air, I didn't feel broken. I felt light. Lighter than I had in years. I had spent so much time, choosing people who would never choose me back, giving my heart away to people who saw it as something optional. But now, for the first time, I was choosing myself, and it felt damn good. Love isn't just about who makes your heart race. It's about who chooses you every single day. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is stop choosing them. Thank you. Watching. If you like this story, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more real-life stories.